To me, education, that's universal. We're trying to graduate everybody, not just one sport. So I got out of that situation. But how did I get out of that situation again? I got a call. I didn't apply for the job, I got a call. I said, hey, somebody's looking for somebody at Boston College. So I flew out to BC. I said, well, that'd be nice. I'd get back close. I'm from New Jersey. Went to UMass. Well, that might be good. BC's a good school. Went for an interview. Didn't get the job I thought I was interviewing. It was an informal interview. So the AD called Gene DiFilippo and goes, hey, I got some good news and bad news. I said, he said, what do you want first? I said, I'll take the bad news. So the bad news, I'm not going to hire you as my finance guy. So I said, what's the good news? I said, what's the good news? That I got to meet you? He goes, well, that's kind of good news. But we want to hire you as the first full-time assistant AD of event management, championships, and facilities. So I was like, Now when I went there, I didn't look at any facilities. Didn't look at a field, all I know is if you go, when I went back, I took the job because I wanted to be with a great leader and a person that would advance, and I said, can I go get my master's? He said, yes. I said, okay. I took a tremendous pay cut. If you know anything about Ohio, in Toledo, I was making around $60,000. That's big money. I was making around 45 when I went to Boston. So my rent, I'm gonna tell you my rent. I went from paying $450 for a townhouse, 2 bedrooms and a basement, or garage port, a mile away from the university, to paying $1,200 in rent for 825 square feet. But you gotta give to get. And I wanted to be in alignment with a great leader. But the thing was, he was great friends with my former AD at University of Utah. They had already talked. So when I got there, I was like, once again, didn't know anything about events, facilities, championships. I knew a lot about it because I did in finance, but really worked it, so I took the challenge again. Because that's how I believe. You want to align yourself, if you're good, you got to put yourself out there. But I got to say no to be with a great leader that can help me get to the next level? No. So I went. And I spent 6 years there, got my master's there. Then I ended up going to University of Connecticut. And that, again, was not an advertised job. The AD with a senior associate, went to Colorado State, came back to Connecticut and said, hey, I like the way you do things. I want to bring you to Connecticut. So I've explained to you 4 times, and none of these jobs were really ever open. They were network-based. They were what your brand is. And I get to University of Connecticut, and that's how it happened. And I spent 6 years there. They went to Division I, from FCS to Division I major. Okay, got a brand new stadium. Basketball was doing things. Baseball was doing things. I got to manage sports. I was building my resume. And that's what it was. Continuing to grow. Continuing to try to add value, to continuing to prepare. To prepare. When I got to Connecticut, it was my first time that I ever had, even interviewed for an AD job. And at that time, I thought this would be really neat to be an AD. Why? Because I can influence lives. I can impact more lives. I love to mentor. I love to talk to classes. I love to keep it real. I love to do things for people that I didn't get when I was a student athlete. So that's what I bring to the table. I don't want an academic advisor for my student athletes that's saying when the student athlete comes in and says, I want to do this, they're going, okay, this is what you got to take. Now I want my academic advisor or the department to be going, you sure you want to do this? Is this really what you really want to do? Do you know what it takes? Let's speak to somebody about what this really is. Because anybody in college would want that. Don't you want to be sure what you want to do? You don't want to do 4 years, pay for school, and and get out and go, I don't know what I'm really going to use this business degree for, or this sport management degree for. And that's what you're trying to do, because it's a competitive world out there, but you're trying to stay ahead. You're all competing against each other in here. So what's going to be the difference? What's going to be the difference? What is your value in? What have you done to get in? And I always call it just get in. Get in. Don't worry about the perfect scenario. If you can have it, be great. But it's rare that anybody has the perfect scenario. It's about getting in. Then you start making your brand. I always say it's like, you're eating at that kids table for a long time. Now you're trying to get to the adult table. And you finally get to that adult table. Now you can start having conversations with everybody. But you can't do that if you don't want to play the game. And it is a chess game. It is a chess game. That is life in general. But if you're going to be a sport management major, you have more competition than just the people in this room. Why do I say that? Because somebody from business school can take one of your jobs. Somebody from engineering school can take your job. Somebody from law school can take your job. But let me tell you, all the things that I've done over $90 million in capital projects. I've built buildings, done all that, managed budgets. Do you think I can go down the street to the construction company and go, hey, engineering firm, go ahead. I can be your project manager. That's going to be very hard, guys. But all these other professions can come into yours. That's why you've got to take full advantage of networking, playing chess the right way, staying with your classmates, understanding the power of relationships, and being proactive and getting after it. Because if you wait, somebody else is going to come get your thing. That's the fact. That's the real world. But what's great about sport management as well is that you can produce. If you went to any store, the Greg McGarity, who's an AD at Georgia, or anybody, Bobinski at Georgia Tech, everybody has a different story, how they got in. So this is not like an engineering degree. If you did an engineering degree, you do this, you do this, you do this, and you go on the paper and you get the job. If you're a doctor, you do this, you do this, you do this. Very rigid. In this profession, it's not rigid, which gives you opportunity to take your circumstance and do something with it. I'm living proof. There's not many people that say, should he be an AD? First of all, not many African Americans that are ADs, not many females that are ADs, let alone not many people that have come from the internal background that are ADs. It can be done. But that's the greatness of it. But you control that. But you have to be disciplined to it. And that's where people falter. They're not disciplined. It's not making enough money. I'm not getting there fast enough. Do I have to do this to do this? Do I have to move to do this? That's the reality of this profession. Without my experiences, without Utah, I'm not at Kennesaw State. Without Toledo, I'm not at Kennesaw State. Without BC, I'm not at Kennesaw State. UConn. But what's even more important, without those relationships, I'm not there. Because the search firm did this job, and they came in, a search firm that specialized in athletics, and your name's got to be, because that's what they do. They go to coaches, they go to people that you don't even know. People that have you ever witnessed this guy? Have you ever seen this person in a setting of leadership, management? How do they deal? What kind of person are they? What kind of people are they? That's why I say relationships are important. Because what if I treat this person terrible and I treat this person good because I can get something out of them? That search firm's going to find that out. Your brand will find that. Your brand will be exposed. So everything you do is about your brand. Every day. That's why I tell my student athletes, and that's what I daggone sure tell people in sport management. But you control that. You control that. So I'm here to tell you, it can be done. Whatever you want to do. But you've got to strategize and be intentional about everything you do. And I sat in your chair and I listened to people say, gosh, the network and the strategy, okay. I'm being honest. But it was a relationship that got me my first job. But then I had to flourish in relationships. And if you're not about relationships, and if you're not about working hard and protecting your brand, about being a risk taker, well, it's going to be tough. That's what this thing is about. You control your own options. Okay? And you can almost control your own destiny. But also, the laws of percentages are not in your favor. And somebody once told me when I was interviewing for AD jobs, well, you know, there's only 364 AD jobs, Division I in America, Vaughn. You have more chance of being a CEO of a company down the street. So there's thousands of people in professions getting educated now that want to be in athletics. Thousands. They're coming out every year. You're coming out. So the law is a law of percentages. So you do have to be intentional. The less wasted steps, the better. And that's in the real world of sports anyway. But I think the intent is, do you know what path you want to take to get there? And experiences give you that. There is no small or doesn't make experience, or West Georgia maybe not too big, it's not, I'm not going to get that experience, or that Division III school that I know back home, or whatever that is. Because when I went to Utah, no one knew about the place. And it was the best thing we could ever do, because you know what? We were small, so I had to learn everything. That's the environment you want to be in. At the end of the day, your employer wants value. What are you going to add? I went to school. Okay, that's good. I got good grades. Okay, that's good. Are you a problem solver? Are you a team player? You think with character? Do you lift people up? Are you a uniter? United? What are you? Are you a helper? Do you got to wait for something? Are you proactive? Me. Let's face it. When I try to hire people, I want to hire more than just do my marketing, more than just do my events. There's more to it. Are you a servant? Do you like to grow? What are people going to say about you? Do you read? Do people like to be around you? What is it? Those are the things you got to do. So now I'm at Kennesaw State. And once again, here I am again to tell you, because I never thought Kennesaw State would be, I'm going to be honest with you, my dream job right now. When I was like, you know, people was like, you're at UConn. So I met president for women's basketball. I was at White House. Because of athletics. Because of athletics. I met the president. I don't get to do that every day. So I've seen it. I've been to Fiesta Bowl. I've seen it. I've been to bowls, Final Fours, gymnastic national championships, softball World Series. I've seen most of that because of my experiences. And so people go, Vaughn, you were set up to go big time. And the last thing is, don't ever let anybody define your success and your growth. Don't listen to the noise. It's not about them. At the end of the night, I got to go home and say, am I loving what I'm doing, Vaughn? I'm looking in the mirror. Man, do you love it here? Yeah. So what makes you happy? I'm making that. You're looking in the mirror at yourself. So when I was 23, of course I thought to be the AD at Michigan, that's it. I'm going to be the AD at Michigan, that's it. That's my standard. Stanford, that's my standard. I was foolish then. And then I said, why do I want to be an AD? To impact lives. Well, you can do a lot of it. But then I said, okay, maybe I don't want to be an AD. I just want to be in a position of influence to impact lives and to serve. And you're going to go through that journey. All of you will. But don't listen to the noise that tells you you've got to this. You know in your heart what you want to do. And I'm perfectly happy at Kennesaw State. I love it. I love Georgia. Trying to get my Georgia card. I love this place. Hope they adopt me someday. I love Georgia. I love the people. I love the community. I love our surrounding schools and the relationships. I know the people in this department. I love impacting lives. I love that we made a fight song. We never had one. I love that we brought a live owl, Sturgis, to life. It'll be 2-year-old next week. I love that football is starting. Lacrosse has started. I love that our student athletes are trying to reach their potential, because that's my job. My job as the AD is I'm a potential maker. I can't make them do anything, just like no one can make you do anything. No one can motivate you. They can only inspire you. If you're not motivated yourself, you got a problem. But you need to be motivated if you want to be in college athletics or in athletics in general. You need to be motivated. Okay? And I love what we're doing. I love that they're averaging over a 3.0. They're starting to find what they want to do in life, their vocations. That's important, graduating, knowing a little bit more what they want to do, the partnerships that we built, redefining what Kennesaw in our own little corner to assist the university, not to be the one-all be-all. I love that a marching band's forming. I love that people are starting to wear black and gold. Pride. That's what this thing is about. So it is a dream job. So right now I'll go, well, this is a better job than Stanford or Michigan. Am I making that money? Nah. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it to make the impact and be a part of something special. When you're a servant, and if you're going to be in athletics, especially college athletics, that's what you need to be, a servant. You can't do it, you can't lead, you can't go into the job. If you're not a servant, it's going to be hard. Because you're always going to be looking for the money or the score. If you're not a servant, you're always going to keep score. Well, I worked 4 years, so this means I should make this much. Man, I've done this right, and I should be here. College athletics is not like that. That's a part of the process. But if you're not a servant, you're going to drive yourself crazy. There's got to be more than just money. Position. That's what college athletics is about. At 90% of the schools, that's what it's about. Not all of you working at Wisconsin. Not all of you working at Michigan, Ohio State, or Georgia. There's only a handful of schools that do it at an elite level like that. The rest of us are struggling. That's a fact. So it's about vocation and service. So I am in a dream spot. And what's the future hold? I have no idea. I'm just trying to get football to the field. All right, it's been a fun, but whew, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to start something. It's a tough thing to try to build. And that's why this is good for me. Every situation I've been in, it's been about building. A renaissance at Boston College. UConn, helping them get Division I football and win a Big East championship and go to a BCS.